Rally driving is a battle with time. It's a wrestle with the prancing motor car and the ability to read at a glance local conditions. It's also a dance along the ragged edge between delight and disaster. Rally driving is a safe sport because the regulations and controls keep it so. The aim of the competitor is to beat the elements with skill and daring, but long before a package of horsepower is unleashed in anger, each car and participant has to undergo a systematic inspection. The Castrol Rally has its obligations to rules and safety, and before the start, officials minutely inspect the complete entry.
What do you mean by that? Well, all electrics, it has to be inside what they call the cockpit of the vehicle. Must be fireproof.
The transgressors have two alternatives, either to mend the wrongs to the satisfaction of the engineers or to join the ranks of the spectators. With flat-out driving only hours away, who can afford to take chances that could prove too costly?
We've tried to comply pretty well with the regulations. People now know what regulations is required, and in most cases they have the cars complying with the regulations once they come to scrutiny.
The components that count most are brakes, lights, engines and tyres, all expensive items.
No qualms at all about scrutiny. The car is prepared the way it should be prepared, and we don't worry about scrutiny.
How much emphasis have you put on safety?
A lot of emphasis. I think we can hark back to a few years ago when you caught me upside down and asked me the same question. You know, with the roll cage, full harness, seat belts, helmets, a rally car on a rally is about the safest place to be in terms of road accidents. We probably have the fewest accidents per head that actually damage people of any brand of motorists. The car has been totally overhauled. We have checked over all the brake lines, the calipers, the brake pads, the discs. It's had new discs on the back. Everything on the car has gone over with a fine-tooth comb between each event. When you're driving as close to the limit of the machine and the man, you've got to do that.
There are 140 aspiring crews lined up for the three-day Castrol Donegal International, and despite the clouds of economic disaster at home as well as abroad, the entry is the best ever. The first to mount the Letterkenny start ramp is Jimmy McRae with his Opel Ascona. Ian Grindrod co-drives.
Jimmy, welcome back to Ireland again. Ireland seems to be a great favourite with you in the rally, in terms of rallying. Why?
Great place. I think, you know, you're so lucky that you can close the public roads and rally in the public roads. It's something that a lot of people, you know, Britain would be proud of if we could do it.
Well, how are you going to do this weekend?
Yeah, I'll tell you better on Sunday night. I don't know, we'll just try as hard as we can.
But there's a fair amount of pressure on you because you're the reigning champion, as it were.
That's correct, yes. We've obviously got to try and keep that.
Now, what fellas are you going to be looking over your shoulder at?
I would say I think John Lyons is obviously the biggest threat, you know, but there's Jerry Buckley, you know, there's quite a few behind us. We don't know how this new turbo's going to go. Brian Fagan. You know, anybody in the top 10, 12, really.
After Scotland's best driver come the Irish national champions from Cork, Gerald Buckley and John Capeless with their 2.3 Vauxhall Chevette. That's the combination that beat McRae in Galway last spring. Desi McCartney and Peter Joe are at 3 in a rather tame Sunbeam, and behind them are local favourites with local information, John Lyons and Bill Moffat from Castledurg in a very rapid Ford Escort.
How are you going to play it?
Well, you have to go pretty quick from the start, Michael, and I'll be trying to do that.
Now, what fellas are you worried about most of all?
Jimmy McRae, all of them.
Okay, the best of luck to you.
John Lyons off to the first stage 3 miles out. while now the eyes of so many are fixed on the incredible Renault R5 Turbo for John Price of Wales and co-driver Hugh Wiley. £30,000 worth of sophistication.
Can you tell me something about this car?
Yes, it's the first Renault 5 Turbo in the British Isles.
So are you expecting great things of it?
Yes, we are. First time out for it, and we had a lot of theory. It's going to be practice now. Okay.
The tension mounts, schedules have to be adhered to as part of the procedure, and 39 stages or 600 miles face competitors over the 3 days. Already the leading crews are about their business on stage 1. After the opening stages, Derek Boyd is missing. John Lyons in the Escort has taken a minute off the hard-pressed Opel of McRae. One stage later, and Lyons extends his lead over Jimmy McRae. In the Group 1 near standard class, Richard Healy, the Dubliner, despite an excursion, lies second with his Escort, and he goes charging on. There are 13 stages in all this Friday afternoon. Car every 30 seconds they're let away, and the fabulous R5 Turbo is 8th overall and trying cautiously. But Brendan Fagan of Dublin in the Chevette crosses the thin edge of adhesion. Spectators that stand in the wrong place pay for their mistakes. And poor Austin McHale, the Group 1 leader, goes through having punctured and rolled the Escort. A battered car, lacerated pride, and a serious loss of time. On the roadside, there are plenty of helpful hands to get the Rathcoole driver back in the fray, but now he is a disastrous 9 minutes down. After several more hectic stages, Brendan Fagan retires his Chevette. McRae and his Opel fails to make an impression on John Lyons' Escort, and Ger Buckley is 6th behind Sean Campbell, Robin Lyons and John Coyne, while Briton Terry Kaby has problems with his Vauxhall. Tyroneman John Lyons is having a joyride in his neighbouring county.
Well, we're leading by about a minute and a half now.
Settling in nicely.
Settling in nicely, fastest in every stage.
Oh, very good stuff. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Okay.
Stage after stage goes by. Scotland's Drew Gallagher retires, as does Ulsterman John Galeese, while Richie Healy consolidates himself as Group 1 leader and 10th overall. As day one closes, John Lyons and Bill Moffat lead by 90 seconds. But now attention is directed towards the quiet and pleasant town of Ramelton. It's a mini Monte Carlo stage through the streets, the sort of thing that makes this Castrol Donegal International unique. Day two, Saturday morning early, and for some, the affairs of yesterday are still important. Vincent and Michael Bonner ended their brave effort against that Ramelton wall last evening. Today's 16 stages have to be faced. The field is whittled to 100, and several of those are struggling. But can Jimmy McRae step up the pace with his boiling Catini Opel? John Lyons is relaxed. The Castleberg driver has steered a course from the start like a full-time professional.
I should be so lucky to be a full-time rally driver. No, I'm a bank official, and that's what I work at, in the bank, although they give me time off for rallying, etc. But I would like to say here, but Matt, so this is the second international I've done this year, and it's by far the best timed. It's good, sensible timing, bit of time for service, bit of time to find out your times, and it makes it all the more enjoyable. It wasn't like the Circuit of Ireland where it was just hell-bent on going on the road like a madman.
But some of those stages, John, are pretty tough, aren't they? I mean,
well, the stages are tough, but Michael, after all, we're out here to do a rally, so the stages are tough. There's a good mixture of everything, and you know, I think that the bigger the challenge, the better we like it.
Yeah, would you say, in fact, that Donegal, the roads in Donegal are perfect rally stages? I mean, from the point of view of a challenge.
Yes, Donegal it's fantastic rally countryside. It really is. Fantastic rally countryside.
What is the situation now vis-a-vis yourself? I mean, are you leading?
Well, I'm leading, yes, and I've taken out the first three stages there. I took some more time of Jimmy, but it's very, very tough going, and you know, I've only got a few tyres left, and we haven't an endless supply of anything, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed and that the tyres stick it out.
You don't look too worried though, John.
There's no point in worrying, Michael, no point.
Well, I think he has the capabilities of staying in front of Jimmy. The only thing I'm a wee bit concerned about is the backup. I mean, we're still sort of a non-professional team trying to excuse me, provide a sort of a professional backup, really. That's the problem.
Again, Lyons is fastest on the next few stages. John Coyne is also blowing a storm. He's now third with the Talbot. And the Renault Turbo is not at its best on the tight twisting roads in Inishowen. It's 9th overall and still getting spectator attention, but not for much longer. Austin McHale still charging as he passes the Renault Turbo, now buried in at Dunghill. Its rally ends on this fast downhill right-hander. The beautiful rally car is a broken and sorry sight. Indeed, there are even more spectacular happenings to take place here on stage 19, close to Buncrana. Both crew members are safe and sound. That's the price of the strict application of the safety regulations. Crumpled cars and injured pride can be repaired by time. Escort 98 with Seamus Burke and Peter McCulloch at the controls is quickly back in business. Spectators can come in handy at times. In fact, this crew is doing exceptionally well at 16th overall. News comes through that Sean Campbell, Noel Smith and Ken McKinstry have retired as John Price's Folly, the dunghill near Buncrana, continues to present problems to the unsuspecting.
Right, go ahead. Right, 1, 2, 3, now!
There may be the wrecked turbo car, but the rally proceeds. To finish the 3 days in some order is the objective. One must look over the next hill and around the next corner. Indeed, in many ways, the rally driver is a strange breed of sportsperson.
We're staying in one piece. Everything is falling to bits, but we're just about managing. We haven't got service crew, you see, so...
Oh, I see. What did you think of that last stage?
Very hairy finish.
It's a pretty fast, slippery, tight stage, you know. And it was very good for us.
Yeah, there was that last corner there.
The finishing was a wee bit dangerous, you know.
Yeah.
But it's all right.
Yeah, a couple of the boys went off there. John Coyne went off, and number 98 went off, and
just
John Price.
It tightens up very quick on you. You have to really...
You enjoying yourself?
Oh, very much.
Okay. Ernest, this is a little bit different than being master of a hunt, isn't it?
And it's rather a change. After all, you've got to be at something in the summertime. Not quite as good fun, perhaps, as to do with the
Well, there are a lot of sort of awkward obstacles back that road there.
That was a fairly tricky wee stage. A lot of very bad yumps. And we're having a little brake problem, so we're under a bit of pressure. Cheerio, boys. All the best!
But John Lyons would seem to be uncatchable. He now has 3 minutes to spare over Jimmy McRae. Robin Lyons, no relation, but also from Castlederg, and who has been in the top 6 since the start, has stopped with an expired engine in the Talbot Lotus Sunbeam. Richie Healy and Vincent Meade are still Group 1 leaders in their Escort. Indeed, they are 6th overall, so they are happy. Crew compatibility is important. There are bound to be tensions in the control room, as we hear from lady class leaders with their Opel Cadet, Mary Maloney and Catherine Tracy.
Do you actually use a little bit of bad language now and again?
Oh, bad language, it's atrocious. Liar, it's atrocious.
Yeah, well, we're still along. I mean, we're only halfway through the rally. Anything can happen with it. There was just no way we were going to be able to take time out of John. It was just going too quick.
I think we're laying 11 or 12 seconds behind John Coyne.
Are you happy with that position, or do you think you can improve it?
Well, I think we can. We had problems with the car, with the height of the car. Now we cut, during the service there, we had an hour and a half for service. We cut off the brackets off the body and welded them on up higher, so our car is now about 1.5 inches lower, and that should certainly help.
Oh, I'll be going as hard as I can. I think Jerry and myself over the last 6 stages have been swapping times. He'll go 4 seconds ahead, we'll take it back. We'll try and keep at that and maybe build a little bit on it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2.
John Lyons and Jimmy McRae continue to lead with 4 minutes separating them. The Corkmen John Coyne and Ger Buckley are fighting out third. And to end the second day of speed in Donegal, there's another street stage, this time in Buncrana. Stage 3 Sunday, the final 10 stages set in what is claimed to be the most beautiful part of Donegal adjacent to Sheephaven Bay. As rally leader John Lyons is first through Atlantic Drive with his escort, his thoughts must surely be on the £1,000 first prize. Donegal is closest of all to heaven when the sun shines, and for the rally follower there is today the added bonus of watching superb drivers placing their cars along some of the most demanding rally stages anywhere. Where in Europe would one find a test like Atlantic Drive driven in daylight with 5,000 spectators lining it? There's also Muckish Mountain and Glen Village, again a very special treat. As the day wears on, Jimmy McRae closes on John Lyons. It's a matter of John slowing rather than Jimmy quickening the pace, and Gerald Buckley consolidates his third place for Vauxhall. And so it's the end of the 3 days of the Castrol Donegal International, with its 1,500 marshals, its 140 starters and 55 finishers, its innovations and superb organisation. And in Kesselderg's John Lyons, it has a superb winner. Letterkenny is the headquarters for the occasion, so it is only fitting that the most exciting stage of all, the final one, should take place in the streets of that county town. Not surprisingly, there are 10,000 delighted souls to see it.
When you rally as a privateer, you really only dabble at it, and it takes a lot of funds to do so, so I'm very much dependent on sponsorship. This year, I was very lucky to have downtown sponsorship, Eddie Torrance sponsorship, so it meant that I could do an international in a competitive car. This is the first time I've had a competitive car, and I must say it's been very well prepared by Sydney Meeke Motorsport, well looked after, well serviced, and I've been very happy.
He always tries every stage, and he's a goer. From the drop of the flag in the first stage, he lets it all go. He doesn't hold back and wait to see what's going to happen. He's there from the word go, or he's not there at all.
I'm a bank official, and bankers are all much of a muchness, I suppose.
Yeah, but can I say this much about bank? I mean, I always thought that bank officials are very straightforward golfing types. I mean, it's,
not this one, Michael, no. But I enjoy my work, and I think that's why I get such a good thrill out of rally driving too, because it's completely different. It's the opposite of what I do, and when I go out and do this sport, I can give everything it's got to it.
Now, in a couple of days' time, you have a special occasion happening. Isn't that right? In a couple of weeks' time, you're...
Well, yes, I'm getting married now in August. So I'm just hoping that doesn't slow me any.